Alright guys, welcome back. It's the next day. I didn't have time yesterday to finish this job, but had a little bit of issues. I couldn't get this thing. It kind of wanted to stay sideways. Ended up messing up a motor mount right here. I don't know if y'all can tell. See it split right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to replace that motor mount. I've also bought I bought two motor mounts. I'm gonna inspect this one, make sure this one still looks pretty good. So probably just have to replace this one right here. And what I do is I went out to the other shop and I got my homemade plate I built years ago to put on the intake to try to keep it more level, because the chain going side by side just wasn't keeping it straight up. So hopefully this will work a little better. And yeah, with me and my wife, we fought this thing for over an hour trying to get it set in. Then I realized that motor mount was crushed and we had other obligations to go to last night, so we just called it quits. And anyway, this morning we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead and replace this motor mount here. And I'm probably just going to leave this one. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the motor and just leave it loose and see if we can get the other one in, and then maybe I can get this one lined up. So I'll give y'all a little better look at what I actually did to this thing. As you can see, it come down on this lower part here and it just bent it. This upper part, so that's supposed to be together. And it also, I don't know if y'all can tell, it also pushed everything towards the side here. Pretty much destroyed that motor mount. That thing's supposed to be centered. So we'll go ahead and get a new motor mount, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the pin in. We notice on these supports we got a notch here and a notch here. I think this has got to go to the top where that thing sits down, it holds it. And if you go this way, if you had it sitting here, the upper notch would be in the way of hitting. So I'm pretty sure that it's got to go this way so that both of these notches will be on the bottom. If y'all can still see, zoom in a little bit. Maybe you can see there when I put this in. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, so as you can see, maybe if I get my arm out of the way, this notch fits in this groove and this notch fits up high. Like that right there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolt in. Get it lined up. And we'll sit it back down. Hopefully it'll line up with the holes. And I'm gonna go ahead and check the other side and make sure it ain't backwards. And the other side is good. It is in the right way. So the only thing is on the other side, it's just the motor's got to come way over like that, clear. As you can see, if I can get my camera to stay still, that, my finger at, the notch is on the bottom at the top of the thing. And this part here has got to go over that notch to be able to sit. Alright, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to pull the motor slightly this way and ease it down. Almost too much. And what I think I've done is got it still too high. You know, I'm way too high on this side over here. One thing is transmission has got to move over a good bit. And it looks like it really needs to go forward some. So let's see what that looks like. It's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of running back and forth around this damn truck. If it helped any. It really slid this motor back sideways over here for some reason. This one needs to go right there, maybe a little bit more. Line up pretty good, maybe a little bit more. And this one is way off. I mean, way off. It's not even close to being where it needs to be. It's almost as if that motor mount's bent. I'm just wondering how. Them summers is on backwards. I just have to believe they are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack it back up and swap these mounts around. See if that don't help us out any. I know it's a pain, but it don't even look like it's getting close to lining up. You gotta do something to try to figure out what's going on. And you would think it would be stamped in there left and right if there was a difference, but I don't know. So I'm gonna pause y'all right here because it's gonna take me a little while to swap. What I'm doing is I'm swapping these metal pieces that bolt to the block. I'm gonna swap them left and right, and we'll see if that does any good. Alright guys, I got to looking and there's no difference between one side and the other as far as the mounts, but when I looked on the motor that came out of this frame, I realized that the four-wheel drive mount is a little bit different than the two-wheel drive mount. So basically, this is the two-wheel drive, this is the four-wheel drive, and they don't look like it's that much of a difference really when it comes down to it. But we're going to try the four-wheel drive mounts and see if they work. I'm not going to have time to paint it, but oh well. We can always paint it later. So, like I said, the biggest difference is the four-wheel drive mount don't have this little lip on it that the two-wheel drive mount has. And I'm thinking that the notches are a little bit different, but maybe Maybe that's just me thinking. So let's put these on. These do have a backing plate, little triangle piece of plate that goes on behind them. So we'll put the backing plate and we'll install these and try it again. Alright guys, went ahead and put the motor mounts inside the engine mount there, and I'm going to have to let down that jack a little bit. I'm going to get it down a little further before I do. Let down that jack a little bit. Jack it up to get enough clearance to get this mount off. And it's really close over here on this side. Alright, I can tell this whole motor needs to slide forward. So I need to I wonder if I can slide it forward with this engine hoist. It really needs to come down a little bit. There it went. See if that, well, that might have been too much there. It's still down cocked over a little bit over here. Too much. Right in there should be about good. Pull it over a little bit and ease her on down some more. Let's look and see what this one looks like. It's lining up over here. Let's see what this other one looks like. Damn it, water. Alright. According to this other one, this engine needs to slide back towards the back yonder. I think what I might be able to try to do is get it down, but just don't put a whole lot of pressure on it right now, where I can move it a little bit, get a little bit of pressure on it, like right in there. Now I've got a little bit of pressure on the frame, all right, and it looks like the whole engine needs to slide back over here and over here. Now, it looks like it just needs to come down over here. And over here, it's a little bit off. It needs to come forward on the back side. All I need to do is get a bolt in it, and then I can kind of maneuver the other side around. So what I'm going to do is come right here. I'm going to move this engine sideways. Alright, one thing is this engine needs to tilt just a little bit. It's a little low on this side. I don't know if I'll be able to tilt it much, to be honest. Ain't really no good places to grab over here. Might won't too much. I'm a little bit, I'm still a little bit off. I'm still a little bit low. This thing ain't wanting to go for me. So we'll side needs. And this side needs to come down. A little bit. Right, this side lined up. I'm gonna go ahead and stick a couple bolts in it. And then we'll worry about trying to get the other side lined up. Let's see what that did first. You can see that this side back here in the back needs to slide forward. Like that. And we are very damn close. I mean, so close, I can probably just get a good screwdriver in there and line it up if I can get it matched up. Need a little, it's gonna be, well, maybe it will, I don't know. Let's see if I can get in down here at the bottom. And it's so close I can taste it. You just don't want to cooperate. There it went. So, a lot of hard work, learning experience. I don't mind showing you the mistakes I make. I always try to learn from my mistakes, and I'll never make the mistake again of trying to put a two-wheel drive motor mount on a four-wheel drive engine. I guarantee you that. Now, let's see if I can get this here to line up. There we go. That sure would have saved a lot of time. It probably would have set right on there if I'd had the right mounts to start with. I wouldn't have messed my mounts up. Now, I have one more here. Now we can take the pressure off. Actually, the back, it looks like it's going to line up pretty well. I can always put a jack on it and kind of slide it around if I need to get it lined up on the back. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on getting the rear seal. I want to go ahead and replace the rear seal in that transmission before I bolt that adapter plate down. So right now we're just going to go ahead and let this engine on down. Get all the pressure off this lift. Get it out of the way. All I gotta do is tighten up them 6 bolts, tighten up the motor mount bolts, and she's good to go. It's amazing the difference between those, the way those mounts were. That other mount, I don't believe it would have ever have worked. I couldn't see it going no way but sideways. And the back, I do want to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and degrease this. In the back, it looks like it's going to line up pretty well. Of course, you can't even see the hole in that one. It's gunked up. But like I said, I'll be taking this adapter off. Probably not today, but sometime before I put the transfer case back on. Maybe next weekend, but today my hopes are to get this frame moved over here. I just like a little bit getting enough stuff cleaned out, mainly that 2 things there, and hood sitting there. Notice I put some plywood up here, and I'll set the hood and all up here on top of the frame just to keep it from getting damaged. But still got to put my plate on, and got to get my U-joints changed out, and the drive shaft and get them painted. But for the most part, the hard part's done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of I had a pain in the ass time. I still got to hook up my clutch. You got to clean that up, this lead right here. It just needs a good cleaning and painting, but yeah. But I can work on the rest of it now with it over here on the other side, take the valve covers off and get those repainted and all that. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you hadn't, and keep watching. We're going to get started on the cab as soon as I can get it in here.